In tonight's news, I am exhausted. No, not physically, but emotionally drained. I am exhausted from Paige and Chris, and honestly, I don't even want to talk about them when they show up on the screen. I want to fast forward, but here I am with a review, and I have to give a full, thorough, well-rounded, rational, logical review with a sprinkle of ghetto, okay? What's up? How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? I am your girl, Talisa Ray, wife style coach. We are reviewing Married at First Sight, season number 12, episode number 9. 3 little words come out of your mouth. I made that up, okay? That's from, Corinne Bailey Ray. If it's your first time visiting my channel, listen, we go couple by couple, not scene by scene. Y'all forgive me for not being zhuzhed up, that you getting what you getting tonight. You know what I'm saying? Well, you probably watching it in the daytime, but it's nighttime when I'm recording it. Anyway, let's get into it. And we're going to start with Haley and Jacob. And I'm going to just be honest with you. Haley and Jacob have now, for me, stolen the show, right? They are now who I am watching. Based on all the hemming and hawing that they got going on, I prefer watching them over Chris and Paige. I'm gonna just tell y'all that, and it's the truth, and there it is, okay? We see Haley at her house with her 2 friends, one of the good girlfriends, Lauren, and her other friend, you know, the ones from the housewarming, and they sitting in there and having a conversation. The mama sends some chocolate covered strawberries. I think that wasn't for her and her girls, but for her and her new husband. But what do I know? It was sent to Haley's home. They asked her how things are going. You know, they were glad that they met Jake and that, you know what, we got a better picture of him. That's what Lauren says. How are things going, honey? And Haley says, listen, last night we had a conversation and Jake asked me if I was physically attracted to him. And Jake asked me if I was physically attracted to him. And I told him, I don't know. Baby, let me tell you, you might as well have punched him in the face and told him, hell no. Because I don't know means no. Listen, everybody knows that a maybe is a maybe. It's not a yes. A maybe is more like a no. Like, And so Jake goes on to tell her, and we are calling him Jake, right? Anyway, he goes on to tell her, listen, if there is no physical attraction, then what are we doing? I am out. Now, we all know why she's not physically attracted to him. She went on to tell her friends when she walked down the aisle that she was not instantly attracted to him, that it was a 50-50 kind of thing that was going on. And, you know, he was quirky and he was funny and I was willing to work on it. But then after Vegas, after the things that were said, it was all downhill. After Vegas, after they were intimate sexually, she had changed her mind. Listen, I got my retainers in my mouth. So we're just going to work through this, right? I'm hoping that my words come through clearly. So Lauren asked her, so listen, since you're not physically attracted to him, because she went ahead and admitted that he is just not my cup of tea or Hennessy or strawberry soda or nothing. I don't even want him water in the glass is pretty much what she was saying. But Lauren said, listen, so can you find yourself liking him or loving him without physical attraction? How sway. Because listen, he can't find himself with her if they aren't physically attracted. So if she's not going to be able to get the physical attraction, she might as well walk away. Y'all, I'm asking you, let me know down below in the comments, can you be in a relationship that has no physical attraction? Are you asexual? Is that what it's called? Or is it pansexual? You know, the kind that does not need sex, but just the companionship, the intellectual relationship. Y'all let me know down below in the comments, because I'm going to be honest. I would prefer a relationship filled with sexual intimacy, with all the intimacies, okay? All of them, the cuddling, the hugging, the intellect, the laughing, all the togetherness, the quality time. Like, my love language is quality time, and then it is acts of service. So I need all that. So for me, it's a no, okay? It's a no. I mean, I've never been in that situation, so maybe it could be a yes. I don't know. Y'all let me know down below in the comments. So we get back to the apartment, honey, and Haley says, look, I got something for you, Jake. Not one or two, but 3 or 4 different types of shirts, so that we can upgrade you, because I don't like the way you look. Like, I don't like the way you dress. I don't like nothing about you. I'm trying to build what is missing, and part of it is the way you dress. And so she says, come on, give me a fashion show, baby. Now, we know that ain't what she said, but that's what I would say if it was my man. Like, I want you to feel good. Like, let me see you work them shirts. Something to make me make it be more fun and flirty, because she says that he's too serious. Well, honey, you got to give him some of that free energy. You got some of that good, yes, laughing, you have a ball, enjoyment, sexy kind of energy if you got it, okay? So he comes out and he models, and she's smiling because she's happy about how he looks and that he's willing to try these things on, and he's very receptive to it. And it appears that Jake is happy about the choices that she made. You know, he's not like a button down shirt kind of guy, but you know, he's with it. Sits down, thanks her, and then goes right into the conversation. Like, hey, yo, what's up? Last night you left and went to go sit and visit with Paige at 9:30. You did not come back until 12:30. I waited for you. I thought you would want to have a conversation continuing what we discussed earlier about the physical attraction. And she was like, I gave you some space. Like, that's what I was doing. That's what I thought you wanted. You should have said to me that you wanted to have a conversation. I'm not a mind reader. You have to let me know. So I'm looking at Jake going, he kind of pretty much is fed up over this stale relationship that is not going anywhere, where you are not attracted to me. And you should know, like, it's a thing that you should know to check in and let me know that you were going to come in late, because I waited up for you. But it figures, because you ain't been in a relationship in 7 years. So you would know what to do or what to expect. Let me tell you something. Haley had something to say today, didn't she? She was very vocal today, wasn't she? When she got angry and that lip got to quivering and that hand came out, she was like, hold up, swell up. Let me share this with you. I don't know what your expectations are. And the same thing I've been saying, you need to be patient with me because of the reason of me not being in a relationship for 7 years. And it's just what it is. You just have to be patient, and don't expect me to just be all lovey-dovey and up under you and up on you and wanting to be around you right away. I mean, you did say it was 7 years, so you're very much aware that I'm not ready, and that's what he said too. Didn't he say that? He did. He said, you aren't ready for this. If I'm wrong, y'all let me know down below in the comments. Now, here's my thoughts. First off, he gave Haley the impression that he needed a moment after finding out that she was not physically attracted to him. I don't know, is a no. It's not a yes, okay? Y'all can say if you want to that, oh, it's not really a no. It's a no, because when it's a yes, it's a yes, period. Anyway, she doesn't want to hurt his feelings. We already know that from before. So he actually should have said, I need a few moments to process this. I need to come back to the conversation. That is not what he did. He expected her to automatically know what the relationship norms were, and she has been out of this game for 7 years. So how would she possibly know unless you tell her? He has been very communicative thus far, right? And then on her end, though, common courtesy. I know you're just going across the hall or down the street to Paige's, but baby, let me know that, you know, I'm waiting up. Let me know when I texted you at 11 that I won't be back, because we over here kikiing and ha-haing. They showed a little snippet, which was evident that Paige is Haley is not in this relationship. Because when Paige said, oh, this is a perfect match, y'all should have kept us together, kind of like the whole Taylor and Mika thing, right? No one says that unless they're not interested in who they have, right? And unless they don't want the person that they're with. I don't know. Y'all listen. A little later, the experts sent some questions. We've got couples questions, and the question, what would make you fall in love? And it's an inappropriate time. They both decide, you know, we're going to skip that question. I don't want to do it. Then Jake asked another question, which is, have you ever been in love? And she said yes, right? Or was it Haley that asked? I don't know. But Jake said yes, and things happened naturally and progressed naturally. And I know because I'm thinking of their needs. And she said, was it the person or was it their actions? And he said it was the person, not necessarily their actions. But keep in mind, people do fall in love or grow in love or be connected because of someone's actions. Or she shares that her last relationship that was 7 years ago lasted 5 years on and off. So what we know is she was 16 when it started. So it was a high school love, which is not an adult love, which is entirely different, and it has more depth to it, right? And you know, then she said, well, I'm really not sure. And Jake says, nope, you've been in love. You know how I know? Because you've been hurt and you're guarded. And people that are guarded normally were in love. So Jake then says, you know what? It is evident to me that I'm going to have to be patient with you. Well, that's all she's been saying, Jake. And I'm so glad that your communication skills also include listening, because a lot of us use this more than we use this. So finally you heard her say, I need you to be patient. And it took her actually to get a little upset and tell you, wait a minute, hold on, let me finish, is pretty much what this is, in order for you to understand where she was coming from. They have a pool party because, you know, she thinks that he's serious and they need to be a little more light and airy. So a pool party is going to be had at Jacob's house. Yes, everybody is there except for Vincent, because he's probably at work or doing some work stuff, and Chris, because Chris is, you know, really pretty much out. I saw a couple things that I noticed. When Virginia and Haley went into the house, I didn't think that Virginia should have been asking for a tour. After Haley said, I don't really know the house. Like, y'all don't just be walking in. I know it's her husband and everything, but she don't like the man. So don't be just walking through the house. But then they have a conversation about their spouses. And Virginia shares that she feels unappreciated right now by Eric. While Eric was gone for work, she reorganized closets and all this stuff, did all these grand gestures that he didn't take notice of, and she feels unappreciated, which is the same thing he said when he made dinner, you know. But they understand one another, whatever, child. She says that so far it's been rocky, but hopefully it needs to turn around. He's so serious. I want some of that joking energy that you and Eric have. So when they separate and the guys go tour the house, right, we get to see the sauna, we got to see the full backyard this time, we got to see the gym. All of those things are really nice, okay? They are really nice, but stop leading with them, Jake. Okay, so now we see the ladies outside, and Paige is happy to be with the wives because they now feel like sisters. All right. Okay, I mean, you guys are with each other all the time and probably are in the apartment together, moving around constantly together. So it's probably a thing. But she shares with the ladies that she had a conversation with Chris and Mercedes. She also shared that he wants to have another conversation. And everybody is like, you can tell that this is not something that they want to do. Like, what? Why would you do that? Why? You know, what's her name? Clara is like, it's hard seeing my friend go through this. And Brianna's all like, he's taking her on a roller coaster, but she's in the rocket ship flying through the sky. Little Einstein. I think that's how the song goes. Y'all remember Little Einstein? Am I dating myself? Probably not, because my oldest son was younger. Anyway, Paige mentions to them about how the relationship no longer serves her. That's her new line now. This relationship no longer serves me. Okay, girl. But Virginia says, remove all the negative things that have happened. You know, all the stuff that you've been going through with Chris. Can you see yourself with him? What was Paige's answer? She went on back to God, didn't she? Threw God right on. Whatever God says that morning, I was like, okay, girl, bye. Your answer? I get you wanting something to work. I get you being fully vested, but I don't get why you keep considering this. After last week, I thought we were done, but we ain't. I'm getting beside myself. I'm probably gonna say that again. A little later, we see them, Jake and Haley go on a date. They seem to be a lot more light and airy and not so serious and stuffy. Seems like they're now really trying to get to know one another. I don't have to tell y'all about that conversation because that was pretty much the feel of it, okay? Next, we have Ryan and Clara. They go on a little sculpting, crafting type date because Clara wants to bring him into her world. Let me let you see more about who I am. You know, you're only getting a part of me. Only thing that came out of that was Ryan is a self-proclaimed perfectionist, and you can see it with the reserved behavior, with the very calculated thoughts. He says it has to be the best at everything no matter what it is. Okay, there you go. Also, they talked about her being a flight attendant and having to figure out, you know, how the schedules are going to work because they have such different schedules, right? Well, we don't see them again. Well, we saw them at the pool party, but then we see them when the experts sent a question. And the first one, what Clara was asking, how do you feel when you're in love? That's Ryan. Followed up by, what do you want from love? Or the first one was, how do you want love to feel? The second one was, what do you want from love, right? So his questions weren't about, are you in love? Have you ever been in love? What does it feel like to be in love? But how do you want it to feel? And what do you want from love? Okay, so you ought to know what it is that you want. It's that simple. You said you want to be married. You ought to know what it is you want. What do you want? How do you want to feel about love? How do you want to go into? Do you want to be considered, desired, needed? What is it that you want? Cared for? What is it that you want? You should be able to articulate that. I am sharing that with y'all now, okay? Be able to articulate. Don't go in talking about, I want to be in a relationship, and you can't articulate what it is you want from it. Companionship, a lifelong partner, someone to have a good time, whatever your list is of things for you out of the relationship, you have to know these things in order for it to be successful. What is your measure to know that it is a success, or that if you need to go? Everything requires some type of measure. Everything requires some type of measure, and the measure is not comparing to what's going on around you or other people's relationships, but based on your needs, your wants, your boundaries, your expectations. Y'all know I'm always bringing us right back to what it is that we want. What do we choose? How do we want to love? What am I expecting out of the relationship? I'm getting off that soapbox. This is why this shit be so long. Anyway, Ryan asks her, what can your partner do to help you fall in love? And you know, Clara is going on and on and on, but she says she needs to be heard. I think a lot of us would agree that we want to be heard. We want to be heard. We want to be seen. We want to be acknowledged. Those are things that are important for women. A lot of women. If you are one of those women, let me know down below in the comments. I wrote down her love language is acts of service and gifts, and I got that right before he even mentioned it. He said, you know, I want someone. It was hard for her to explain that she wants someone to consider her and to think of her and the things that she likes, like flowers. I felt like she was just as unclear about what she wants as he is, because she can't articulate it without going around and around in a circle. Say what you want, right? Say what you want. Don't be afraid of that. I'm talking to you while I talk to me. Ryan goes back and he says, you know, I really don't trust people that much, and so it's hard for me. And in time and patience, I'll get there. you know, and I know that when I trust you is when I love you. Pretty much is what he was saying. So then Ryan starts asking her what motivates you, and she was like, do you know what nothing in particular, not particularly. And so Ryan goes on and talks about his purpose and why he is moved and how, you know, things were paved and laid out for him and what drives him. And honey, he gets to the end. She low-key dismisses him and says, you know, I feel like somebody was like, free donuts for, to come and listen to this motivational speech. It was a low-key diss. Like, he was really sharing and being vulnerable and open regardless of how she sees it. But here's where you are going to start seeing the cultural differences. Though he may not be clear about who he is, she is clear about who he is. And some of the stuff she is just not going to be able to relate to. No matter how slick permed his hair is, there's some things that she's not going to grasp. And you can see that he was flabbergasted, irritated, annoyed that she didn't understand what he was saying. All right, let's talk about Paige and Chris, because that is the next set of people that we saw. Baby, honey, listen. Pastor Dwight was like, come have coffee with me, Paige, and let's have a conversation. What is that about? Why? What is that about? Were you asked to do that? She is not your people. Is she your friend? What is that? What is that? Was that a setup by the producers? What is that? I don't agree with him talking to Paige. She didn't reach out to him. I don't think that he should have reached out to her. That is how I feel about it. But we're going to talk about it anyway. She begins to talk about the downfall, or when she thought the downfall of the relationship was. She said that she knew it was when he was on the plane making a reservation to go to Chicago. They had went to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta, he took his ass to Chicago. He made the reservation and paid for it, booked it on the flight. Speaks volumes. Speaks loudly. I can hear it. You can hear it. Yeah, all right. He then shares with her the scripture from the Bible saying, I know you know the scripture, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. If you can't let your yes be yes and your no be no, then there's an issue. And that he's always seen an issue with Chris. Yo, this your homeboy, Chris. Your homeboy over here like really throwing you under the bus. Oh, I love him and everything, but since the day I met him, I knew he had issues with marriage. What you say? Listen, you are my pastor and my friend. She did not reach out to you. Why are you sharing all of my business and hit her with, when I met him, he was engaged. So that means he has been engaged twice. Why are you divulging this information, Pastor Dwight? What are you getting from this? Throwing him under the bus. You got a whole ass wife. Why, oh why are you doing it? Somebody tell me what his motivation is. I mean, I know what we saw on the internet, but anyway, here's the thing. I wrote down, y'all saw all the mess on the internet. We felt sorry for Mercedes and the miscarriage. He showed photos and all of that, right? We all saw that. Even though I don't be talking about the stuff, I be seeing it because y'all be keeping me up. Thank you, FAMU chick. Y'all be keeping me up, okay? But I wrote down, do you think that last week was damage control because of what was happening this week? Paige said she wasn't even sure if the girl was really pregnant. She ain't seen no sonogram. She ain't seen no pregnancy test, no positive pregnancy test. What's up? She's 6 weeks. They were supposed to go to get the ultrasound done, but they didn't get it done. They got to wait a whole nother month. So what's up? That's the thing. And then Pastor Dwight hits with, ooh, he will be devastated if it's not true. Now, remember last week, because I didn't mention it, last week he did say, that might not even be your baby. So Pastor Dwight asked her a final question. Is this over between the two of you? What if he says he wants to try again? For me, it's a hell no. But I ain't Paige. Listen, and that's probably why, you know, listen, you know how they be like, you don't be listening to God, not leaning to your own understanding? Maybe that's why I'm in a position and I'm still single now, and I'm not married and hadn't gotten married again or been with no, you know, in no seriously committed relationship since my husband passed, right? Maybe that's what it is. Because of the simple fact that I don't be listening to God like Paige, okay? I'm getting beside myself still again. Oh, no, I'm not, because we already talked about I'm going to wake up in the morning and see what the Lord says. Child. I mean, listen, he directs all of our paths. You know what I'm saying? But we have free will, and she has been doing, I don't, exhausted. So then we see Paige going to meet up with old Chris, okay? I said, now I know you lying. Again, she say God has ordered her steps and told her to go here, okay? God thought it was a good idea is what she said. I tell you, this is why most of us is by ourselves. We must not be hearing what thus said the Lord, okay? Y'all, I'm serious. I know I'm laughing, but that's the only thing I can think. I must be thinking, I must not be hearing God's voice correctly when people be coming through with that bullshit. And I be like, oh yeah, I'm good. I must not be hearing God's voice. Maybe his temperament is for me to stay. No, he's not. No. It's a no for me. It's a no for me. God has led me to meet with Chris. Oh, has he? What signs did he give? Because, baby, he would have to actually come knock on my door. And in his human form, okay? And say to me, and show me water turned into wine, okay? And raise Lazarus from the dead. Like, he would have to do this in front of me. Show me the woman with the issue of blood before I would even say, okay, I'm going to go talk to Chris. Y'all, listen, okay. I wrote down, she's all smiles when she sees him. He's all like, oh, you're smiling at me. It's different from last week. I was mad at you last Sunday. Nigga. I know y'all be mad at me for that, but I meant what I said, okay? It was either that or he was getting an MF'er. Chris says he feels like Dwight should not have spoken to Paige, and because he did, he's out. He is not fooling with Dwight anymore. Period. He says he feels like Dwight should have had a conversation with him before speaking to Paige. And on this, I'm going to agree. Like, there should have been some conversation. Don't take it upon yourself to insert yourself in a marriage that I already said I was going to get a divorce from. Then there's this long, awkward silence. I'm all like, okay, you invited her here, but you ain't got nothing to say, sir? Nothing. So, you know, Paige says, so what's up? Why am I here? What do you want? Like, I'm feeling like, oh, okay, maybe she ain't. Like, you know what I'm saying? She just as double-minded as him, child. Anyway, she said, you are wasting my time. And then she gets up and she walks away and goes over and talks to the producers. And I guess the producers give her some courage to go back to talk about, you know what, I'm not going to be coming back, whatever. So she goes and sits back down with Chris to address him. She talks about how, you know, I don't know what we're here for. Why are you playing these games? I don't want to be played with. You got me out here looking crazy. Listen, Paige, originally, early on, I would have agreed with you. Now you are a willing participant in this fucking circus called your marriage. You are a willing participant. Go ahead and put on your clown suit right now, because now you are a willing participant. Willing, because I wouldn't have come and sit down. But of course we know that that's an obligation that you have for the show. Right? I mean, the show say you got to talk every now and again, so you are. I'd be like, he could call me and we could video chat. It's a pandemic. I would be so mean. As Artika of Love Family, of August Love Family says, I choose violence. Baby, listen, y'all would send me some care packages, wouldn't you? Anyway, he goes on to do the manipulative thing that he does and says, I got my guard up. I'm scared. I got my guard up. I'm afraid that for someone else to take care of my child. In addition, though, I'm also afraid that I'm making a mistake in choosing Mercedes. Okay, we're inferring. And I'm making afraid that I might actually be happy with you. That I might fall in love with you. There he goes with that shit again. I might fall in love. I might be happy. I might fall in love. I'm all in the screen like this. Is she crying? Are those tears in her eyes? What are we doing, Paige? Are you falling for these shenanigans? That's me putting on my glasses because my TV is up high, right? Trying to see, is those tears. Are you moved by that? I hope it was just a glare in my eyes on my TV or something. I wrote down, if he wasn't so arrogant and so manipulative and hadn't been seesawing all the time, I could probably believe what he said. Like, he could genuinely be afraid of all of those things, but he has proven to be such an asshole, and she has proven to be so gullible that I don't even care either way, right? Like, I want you to be happy, but if this is what you want to do, so be it. Nevertheless, she says, I appreciate you. I appreciate your honesty and some other bull madness. And I was just like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. That was me. Chris says, what do you want, Paige? I wanted you to give this a chance. Oh, you did, didn't you? You've been saying that the whole time. So he says, oh, my opportunity. I see it. I see it. She's hooked, line, and sinker. Reel her in. Reel her in. And it ain't even a hard fish, because here she is dangling already, because he talking about, I think we need a reset. She said, I think we need a reset too. Can we just start over? Hi, my name is Paige. Hi, my name is Gullible. We got 2 couples left. Let's talk Virginia and Eric, shall we? Well, Eric had gone away for work, and she said it was hard spending time without him in the apartment. I was like, she felt like that they would be spending a lot more time together, because, you know, she needs somebody that's gonna hang out with her and go drinking with her and her friends, you know. But evidently she had been doing work. She was putting in work them days he was gone, cleaning the house, organizing, making sure things looked nice, and were, you know, doing whatever she thought her wifely duties were while he was away. When he comes back, they go on a golf date. They both are pretty bad at it themselves. He said that he was worried about her being there by herself, and if she could handle it, and he could, and she saw that he saw that she could. Hell, I thought he was gonna be like, I thought he was gonna say, I was worried about you being at home by yourself, drinking with your friends. Because see, really all you gotta do now is invite your friends to your house. You don't have to go to theirs. That way they can spend the night on your couch. So while he was gone, the tables turned. She said she felt like there was not enough communication. A text here and a text there. Listen, he cannot have that double standard. We are not going to allow that. You want her to call you every hour on the hour. We understand that you flying. But before you leave and when you touch down, you need to give me 15 minutes. Because the way you was acting, honey. You was acting a stone cold fool about me calling because I went down the street. Because I went to a wedding. You get a pass because it's your job. Give her that same grace. Give her that same ability to be like, I'm not going to call every 15 minutes, every hour on the hour. What it is you want, understand that it's the same for the most part. You got to make concessions for her. You want them made for you, and it's just that simple. So the next morning, we're having mimosas. Is it a weekday and we having mimosas with our breakfast? I don't know. She just gets a drizzle, a drop of orange juice. He wants half. How y'all take y'all mimosas? Y'all let me know. My mimosas be 3/4 champagne, 1/4 orange juice. They're the first couples we see to get their questions from the experts, and she was nervous about it. And he says, she asked, what does love mean? And he goes on to say it's the best feeling. When nothing even matters except for them. Says he has love for Virginia, right? He's almost said I love you, but he said I love these things about you. And she asked him, had he been in love, you know, in the past 3 years? I mean, or loved someone, said I love you, or been in love for the past 3 years. And he said, no. You know, I've been comparing it to what I know love to be. And she took that as I am comparing it to my first wife and what love looked like with my first wife. And that scares her. Virginia says, you know, he says, you know, his parents have been married for 39, almost 40 years, and that's what perfection looks like. That's what they showed you, honey. That wife was probably cheating. That daddy was probably cheating. Honey, there was probably a whole lot of stuff going on that you had no clue about. I shouldn't say that. That's such a horrible thing to say. They have a perfect marriage. Because they're two perfect people that make no mistakes. Anyway, Virginia is vulnerable and starts crying because she understands that she did not know what healthy love looked like growing up. All the marriages and divorces that she saw, only thing that she's seen as a stable relationship is her sister's same-sex marriage, and that is her only guide, and it's something that she wants. A little later, Eric cooks for Virginia at his little condo, honey, and he looks like he knows what he's doing. The kitchen is clean. He looks like he knows what he's doing. You know that stuff might be pre-packed, and we don't know if it got no seasoning on it, but the fact of the matter, he put in a great effort. I love a man to cook for me. Listen, I don't want to say dear future husband, because I don't know if I want to, I'm in a space now that I don't know if I ever want to be married again, but hello, boo. I'd like for you to cook. I'd like for you to cook for me. I love a man that can cook for me. Hello, boo. Hey, babe. I know you see this. Go ahead and get the cookbook. Go and watch some videos, because your girl likes a man that cooks where the aroma is coming through, and I could just be in there smiling and singing to you and dancing on you and drinking my champagne like, and my wine like fucking Virginia. Oh, child, I'm serious. That he cooked for her because he wanted her to know what it would be like to be in a stable house and environment. Listen, when they're eating, he asks her, how are you feeling right now? How do you feel about us? And she says, I feel great, but I'm afraid saying that, and expresses that she is afraid that you weren't in love or in those past 3 years, and you'll be comparing me to your first wife, and it's scary. Am I going to live up to that? Can I live up? I'm afraid that I won't live up to that. And he goes on to explain to her, hold up. They don't love you like I love you. That wife, the first one, is not what he's using as a comparison. Even though it is, he's like, the bar is so much higher now, and you've set that bar. Like, you surpassed anything that I thought about from what I wanted or whatever. And I'm kind of inferring because I really didn't care. They get on the couch. He plays the music that he wrote for her. That's going to be her song eventually. He does play the guitar very, very well. And then says, seriously, you know, there's something that I wanted to talk to you about. I've already alluded to it and hinted to it. I love you, Virginia. I love you too, Eric. It's 23 days in. It's 23 days in. Now, what I do know is that there are varying degrees of love. I love you because you cook. I love the way you smile. I love you with the love of God. There are varying degrees of love. So, okay. Let's talk Brianna and Vincent. The first time we see them is with the questions from the expert. How will you know when you are in love? And Vincent says, I'll get butterflies. Brianna's like, well, I don't really think you get butterflies, but I pick people apart. I look for their flaws, and I know that I love you when I stop checking for your flaws and I accept you as you are, as your whole authentic self. That's when you show up as yourself. I can accept you and love you that way. But if you don't show up that way, then that's not going to happen. Vincent went on to say, it's when I can't stop thinking about you. And then I also accept you for who you are. When I can be vulnerable and be myself around you. Bree says that her walls are down and that she feels that they both can come and talk to one another about stuff, that they feel safe together. It's the easiest way to say it. Vincent then says, you know what? I feel like the L word will be said really, really soon. Wouldn't you agree? And she said, yes, I do agree. I love you now. I am growing in love with you. I was like, again, we only 22 days. I love you. Can you preface that? I love you. Why? How? Is it the new relationship energy that you got flowing in? He says, I love you too. He says it right back to her. And I thought to myself, his didn't seem as genuine. Was he feeling just didn't want her to feel left out and awkward? Didn't want to say it? Y'all let me know down below in the comments. Did he just say it so that she wouldn't be left out in the air? Because I feel like, well, he might not have, because he is not in control of his emotions. He's not emotionally mature, so he probably would not have said it first, unless it was probably during a really intense, passionate moment. Bree comes home a little later, and I thought it was cute that he's all like, I want to teach you Spanish. I want you to be able to go to the parties and understand and have a good time. And, you know, not having to feel like you have to constantly have something translated for you. So he gives her 4 Spanish words a day. Every day it's going to be new Spanish words. So I think it was amigo, agua. I don't know what the other one was. And bicicleta, I think. And then he goes outside and he gives her a bike. And I thought, oh my God. Boom, 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 boom. My heart was actually overjoyed. He remembered that she said she wanted a bike from the day that they had gotten married. From day one, he listened to her and heard what she said. And he said, I am now considering my entire family. You know, he got her a little basket that's coming in the mail so that Cookie could be in the bike. Like, he's really putting himself out there. Kinda. Because what we see in the next little snippet or next clip is that they go salsa dancing. It was her idea. He seemed excited about it until he couldn't do it, until he kept messing up. Then all of a sudden he was hot and he said it out loud. I feel embarrassed. This is not something that I'm good at. If this was the bachata, then I'd be killing it. I don't feel as confident. So he's got some work to do, because what I realize, and what you see too, is that anytime things are out of his control, anytime he is uncomfortable, he clams up and shuts all the way down. It's almost like he feels like his masculinity is threatened because he can't do something, or because he isn't good at it, or because he doesn't exude the confidence. He doesn't know how to just rest in, look, I don't know, I'm laughing at myself. I don't know how to do this. Like, don't take yourself so seriously, and understand that there's a lot of people that can't salsa. And with practice, you can learn how to salsa. We understand that Bree is graceful, used to be a dancer, looked bomb as hell in that dress. Like, we understand that. We understand that you want to be the man, right? And she's allowing you to be the man. Right now, I don't see anything that's saying that she's belittling him or not respecting him, but I'm sure something is going to come up, because he just sat there, clammed up, quiet. How'd you like it? You could know, you could tell that the energy shift, and she could tell. And she was like, are you, how you feeling? I'm fine. It was cool, blah, blah, blah. And then, are you okay? No. Well, why aren't you okay? If you just said that you love me and you feel safe with me, you should also be able to articulate to me that this isn't my thing and I'm uncomfortable by it. This isn't my thing, and let her reassure you. But she was like, you did good. We all messed up. And he was like, I don't know salsa. She said, that makes 2 of us. Like, even the instructor knew that Vince's energy had changed. Child, he needs to do some internal shadow work, some healing. He needs to be more introspective, just do some self-reflecting, okay? Listen, y'all let me know what you think down below in the comments. I think now, even though I only think Bree and Vince will probably make it, I'm enjoying watching Haley and Jake, okay? I'm over Chris and Paige. I don't care about none of them. I'm just here for the review so we can finish out the season. I am your girl, Talisa Ray. Thank you so much for watching my review of Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode number 9. 3 little words nobody's saying, or they all saying, and it's too soon to me. Anyway, if it's your first time visiting my channel, definitely click the subscribe button to become a ray of sunshine. Click that notification bell that's right next to it so that you're alerted of all the videos. So that means click the one that says all, so you can be alerted of all the videos I upload. Also, share this video with your friends. Give this video a thumbs up because you like me and I'll know it's real, and so will the YouTube algorithms. I love you in real life, and I want every good thing that God has in store for you, even if you don't know what that is for yourself. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll catch you on the next review, which is Snowfall.